Hi there. This is another timeless message for the collective. And the topic I wanted to talk about today is why the feminine energy does not need to save the masculine energy in the twin flame dynamic. Now, the feminine energy, which is the more spiritual twin in the connection, and the chaser, takes the lead in the twin flame dynamic. And they do this by actually starting the journey by going inward. Now, the feminine energy is the first to experience a Kundalini awakening and goes through the dark night of the soul and an ego death before the masculine energy in the connection. It's when the energetic shifts that happen for the feminine energy that the masculine energy kind of catches on and begins their upward ascension progress. Now, if you are the feminine energy listening to this that is peeping in on the progress of the masculine energy, you may think to yourself, oh my gosh, my divine counterpart is struggling in this connection. I wonder if I could, reach out to them, help them through this process. Let me tell them what this connection is all about. I can guide them through all the struggles and the dark night of the soul, which can make this journey a little bit easier for them. Now, while this is so very kind of the feminine energy to do, you have to remember that this is a path where you have to surrender to the external world and connections that you have there and the guidance that we typically rely on, so you can actually individually lean inward to better understand yourself at the soul level. Even though this particular part of the journey may not be exactly the same as for the leader, the feminine energy on the connection, the masculine energy in their own shape and way does go through a very similar process and does need to understand themselves at the soul level as well. Depending on where you are on your journey, you might be able to understand that the feminine energy went through their own lessons to discover their divine essence, and the same process needs to unfold for the other twin here as well. So as much as this connection is one that is different than all others, and you really want to kind of help them through the process, the feminine energy does need to learn to step away and not interrupt the masculine energy's process. The masculine energy does not need to be saved, and rather they need to go through their own shedding process in this journey. They need to be their own hero and find their own way out of this tunnel. No contact with your divine counterpart is extremely helpful at this time, because the separation at this time does help the masculine energy lean in on their internal stillness, which is where we want them to be able to find the answers, similar to the way that the feminine energy did. So allow them to hit rock bottom, because they'll only be able to pull themselves out of this tunnel once they hit that rock bottom, and that can only be done without your interruption. Remember that this journey is for the evolution of your soul, and therefore you have to allow your twin to find their own way so that they can make changes that are actually everlasting. Understand that if you jump in during this time to interrupt the process for the masculine energy and the connection, you are going to serve as a distraction to them, but you may also deter them from doing what's necessary for their journey. Because remember that you actually reflect to the masculine energy their insecurities, their lack of self-worth, and old traumas. If you think that the masculine energy is incapable of mastering this journey on their own, which is why you want to jump in to help them, then that just adds to the negative emotions, and those are amplified to the masculine energy with your presence. Now you may ask, could the masculine energy take a little bit longer to figure this out? And the answer is yes, absolutely. They are the 3D twin in the connection, which means they are not researching the same way that you are. Nevertheless, they are divinely guided as well. So trust that, similar to your own journey, you've been guided on this path. They are also receiving nudges and guidance to get them on track and moving in the right direction. The divine is working with both the twins on this journey, so you need to surrender to that process and just trust in the divine's ability to help your divine counterpart on this journey. Any preoccupation with what your twin is doing you need to take that energy and redirect that focus back onto you and your journey. If you have completed your spiritual ascensions, and have already stepped into a state of oneness and are just waiting for your twin to catch up, you need to use that time to really focus on the divine mission that you've been given, and that is where your energy should really be spent while you wait for your twin to catch up. Remember that your energetic upgrades, you living in your highest timeline, will propel your twin to move in the right direction. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this message was helpful. God bless.